Having a baby is meant to be one of the happiest times in your life, but for some mothers, it can be the complete opposite. Now, this week, we're raising awareness about perinatal depression and anxiety so struggling mums can get the help and support they need. Now, joining me is Arabella Gibson, the CEO of the Gidget Foundation, and mum Chelsea Pottinger. Thank you so much both for your time today. We really appreciate you being here. First to you, Chelsea, tell us a bit about your experience.
Yeah, so I suppose, Amber, if you had to ask any of my girlfriends if I'd suffer postnatal depression, they would have said no way. Not Chelsea, she's so positive and happy. And how wrong they were and how wrong I was. I had a beautiful pregnancy, great birth, and then on day 3, when the milk came in, that sort of the neurochemicals really misbehaved, and that was the first sign of the demons starting to rear their head. And it went from premonitions of jumping off the balcony at the private hotel that we got sent to after the hospital, to severe anxiety, insomnia, difficulties breastfeeding, and it just kept going down from there.
I mean, a lot of women get those post-baby blues, but this is obviously a lot more serious than that. How did you eventually get the help you needed?
So the severe point was about week 9 when I was meant to be in Scotland for my best friend's wedding, and I was driving to the airport and had a severe panic attack and pulled the car over and started Googling ways to kill myself, which is a very terrifying, very scary place to be. And so instead of getting to the airport, I drove home to think about what I was going to do next. And I was very blessed that my husband was at home. And he asked me if I was okay. And it was the first time that I actually had the chance to take my mask off and drop the ego and tell him, darling, I'm just not coping. And the look on his face when I tried to convince him that it was best that I ended my life and that I was a burden to him and my daughter Clara and it'd be better for everyone if I just wasn't here anymore, it just broke him. And he said, you're not going to Scotland anymore, you're actually going to go to hospital. And we called our cousin who's a psychiatrist and I got admitted to a postnatal depression unit the very next morning.
Arabella, we do hear stories, and we thank you, Chelsea, for sharing it, because I know it must be a lot to share it with a national audience, but just how common are stories like Chelsea's?
Well, surprisingly, it's far more common than we realise. Around 100,000 Australians will experience perinatal anxiety and depression. So, for example, around 5 new mums that are watching the show today, one of those mums will experience it.
OK, so what signs do mums, and not only mums, you know, friends and family need to look out for? As I said, you know, it's pretty normal to feel like this is, you're having a baby for everyone. It's a completely new experience. But this just goes a bit deeper. And how do you recognise those warning signs?
Well, also, the other point to that is that 1 in 10 new dads will experience PNDA as well. So the symptoms to look out for, or the warning signs, are a feeling of generally being overwhelmed, anxiety, excessive tiredness, not bonding with your child, those sorts of things. OK.
Chelsea, what's your advice to new mums that might, and dads that might be listening?
I'd really encourage them to start talking and also look out for each other. You know, if someone's not being themselves, just ask, are you doing OK? And then to go and seek their GP for a referral to the Gidget Foundation. They're very experienced in this space and they have clinical psychologists that are purely dedicated to postnatal depression.
Well, yeah, what sort of help is available, Arabella? I mean, you run the Gidget Foundation and they provide a lot of support, don't they, to mums facing PND?
Yeah, absolutely. We offer up to 10 free counselling sessions with specialist perinatal psychologists. So they are Medicare bulk billed. People can contact us at the Gidget Foundation to arrange that. But prior to that, they will need a GP-referred mental health plan. So it's best to talk to your partner, talk to your family, and then go and see a GP and share your feelings. Because ultimately, the stigma around perinatal anxiety and depression is just one more added stress you don't need.
So just let's start talking.
Talking, absolutely.
Yeah, ask your friends, your mums, your neighbours, your nieces, and we need to get it out there.
And also start listening.
Absolutely. Arabella, thank you so much for being with us, and Chelsea for sharing your story. It's a very important message that I'm glad we could get out.
Thank you, Amber.